This is Coyote News.
On the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion, the spot Winnie Mays is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The spot Winnie Mays providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
This week on Coyote News, a USD head coach shares his reaction to athletes sitting during the national anthem and what students should know before choosing a local bank.
And the USD Theater Department welcomes a new breed of actor to the fall show. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Sophie Heineman.
And I'm Devin Martin. We'll get to those stories and more. But first, the headlines and weather with Nathan Finster. Nathan?
A shooting at a South Carolina elementary school has left 2 children and 1 teacher injured. The teenage suspects in custody and the rest of the students have been released. Information about the injuries isn't yet available. The Senate has voted 97-1 to override a veto from President Obama. The bill allows 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia for terror attacks on American soil. This is the first time an Obama veto has been overridden in his presidency. Some cable and internet customers in Yankton, Gayville, Meckling, and Vermilion may still be experiencing problems at this hour. Midco Cable says a fiber line was cut and they're working to solve the problem. And here's a look at your weather. This is a look at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. It's currently 63 degrees with a slight breeze from the north. Tonight will be mostly clear and tomorrow is going to be sunny with a high of 70. And those are your headlines. Back to you, Sophie.
Thanks, Nathan. Sitting during the national anthem is becoming a common method to protest in professional sports, but a USD coach says that kind of action should have no place in college athletics. San Francisco 49ers backup quarterback Colin Kaepernick first sat down during the national anthem at an NFL preseason game in August. Kaepernick says he's protesting the treatment of minorities in America. Many other professional athletes have joined Kaepernick's protest, but USD's head football coach Bob Nielsen says college sports isn't the right venue to bring attention to the issue.
Anytime you involve the national anthem or issues that involve the American flag, you're going to get a polarizing type of opinion, and so from that standpoint, is an athletic event the right way to express that? I guess in my opinion, probably not.
Students have a right to say what they like under the First Amendment. However, Nielsen says he hasn't heard of any protests taking place or administrative concerns in college athletics.
And coming up after the break, if you don't like your meal plan, learn about some of the other ones available and how you could help save a life every 56 days. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News.
USD's Media and Journalism Department can be seen and heard all over campus. Faculty members know that hands-on experience now is the key to success after college. Get professional experience by participating in one of the many practicums offered. Have your voice heard on the radio. Edit a promo for a campus organization. Investigate breaking news stories for a weekly newspaper. Design advertisements for local businesses. Get involved with the Media and Journalism Department at USD and start your future now.
Clotique is proud to support programming on Coyote News. Located on Cottage Avenue, 1 block north of Cherry Street, Clotique offers women's apparel, footwear, and accessories.
This is Coyote News.
Buffets, bagels, and brew are some of the few things you can purchase with your meal plan. Coyote News' Crystal Schoenbauer looks at all of the options for students.
One of the many struggles of moving away from home is missing home-cooked meals and learning how to fend for yourself. USD offers 8 different meal plans and a variety of places to eat on campus. Sophomore Sawyer Stevens has the Yote Pack 120 meal plan.
I have the meal plan that started out with $600 in flex. Right now I have like $480 or something.
USD offers an all-you-can-eat buffet, a marketplace, and national brands, Qdoba, Chick-fil-A, Einstein Bagels, and Papa John's. Steven says he likes the meal plan he chose.
I think for the most part, the meals are pretty good, and it's nice to not have to worry about it, or that you can just pay it all in a lump sum at the beginning of the semester.
Flex rolls over from the first semester to the second semester, but doesn't roll over from year to year. For Coyote News, I'm Crystal Schoenbauer.
Students can also add Flex to their student ID cards online and can change their meal plan at any point in the semester by going to the campus dining office located in the MUC.
Have you checked your bank statement lately? Coyote News found out what students need to look for when it comes to handling money and which banks are student-friendly. While there are only 5 banks and 1 credit union in town, Emily Merrigan at First Bank and Trust tells why some students might choose to bank at one or the
students
other.
worry about is having an account with fees is a really big thing these days. They don't want to have to pay for an account.
And with only 2 months of the school year complete, about 10 students have already opened up an account where Merrigan is employed. And if you're looking to save some money, talking with your banker about hidden fees could be a step in the right direction. Do you know how easy it is to save a life? Coyote News' Clay Conover says you have the opportunity to do so right here on campus.
While the Bloodmobile was on campus last week, many students took the opportunity to donate blood to save lives. Some students donated blood for community service and some for other reasons.
I gave blood to not only help myself through community service, but also better those around me. Experience was good. The line was a little long, but I mean, after that, it's really just smooth sailing. You sit there, you give blood, you get a cookie. So I would definitely consider giving blood again. I would also recommend everybody give blood at least once and see how you like it.
For Coyote News, I'm Clay.
You could donate whole blood every 56 days.
Still to come in this week's Yote Report, get to know one of the unique stars of the theater department's next production. We'll be right back.
This is Coyote News.
Climbing's awesome because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
Climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD Student Media.
This is Coyote News.
There are a lot of thespians wandering the halls of the theater department, but one of them walks on more than 2 feet. Cassidy Cornell meets a special actor in this week's Yote Report.
The USD Theater Department has been hard at work preparing for their fall production, The Two Gentlemen of Verona.
This is a story about young love. And I think what's really exciting about this is Shakespeare wrote this. This is one of his earliest plays. And so it's a story, he wrote it when he was very young. It's a story about young love. And we're putting it on in a college campus full of young adults, right?
Hair, makeup, set design, and costumes help to tell the story in any theater production. But what makes this story unique is the addition of a 4-legged actor.
She is a shelter dog. She's from the Heartland Humane Society. And the whole goal was to find her a home by putting her on stage. Maybe someone would fall in love with her.
Sally is a 10-month-old Rottweiler Cross Labrador and was brought to the shelter this summer.
Sally's name is Crab, and she's my little mutt that I found on the side of the road. And I took her as my own.
Senior Allie Very says that it's not common to see a dog in a live theater performance.
I know that some people do, like they have a human play the dog or they have some sort of metaphorical dog. And we decided to go for the real dog.
Gazecki says that having a dog in the play adds another element to their take on this classic Shakespearean comedy.
I think having a dog lightens the mood of it all, especially because it's a comedy. We've also added a ton of contemporary elements to the show, so it's not as scary for a Shakespeare piece. But yeah, I think the dog just adds to that.
The Two Gentlemen of Verona will be the USD Theater Department's first production using a real animal.
By him, it's time here.
For the Yote Report, I'm Cassidy Cornell.
The Two Gentlemen of Verona hits the Wayne S. Knutson main stage tonight at 7:30. More showtimes can be found on USD's website. And on tonight's Coyote blog, Daniel Keller talks to a local fashion blogger about her personal style. Daniel?
I'm someone who follows a mess of fashion bloggers. They show and set new trends. But in a domain as saturated as fashion blogs, what sets them apart? For Peace Love Shea, it's being a California girl with an edge. Olivia Palermo, born and raised on the East Coast. What about here in the Midwest? Well, I spoke to Simone Owens of Savage Girl to find out. So Simone, tell me, Savage Girl, where did the name come from?
As you probably know, it's a slang term, but it's also a term that people used when referring to Native Americans, and me and my little sister were Native American, and I thought it would be funny.
If you had to describe Savage Girl's aesthetic in 3 words or less, what would you use?
I would use dank, Las Vegas, does that count as one word?
Yes, we'll count it as.
Okay, and juvenile.
If you had to pick one look from everything that you own that defines your personal style, what would it be?
Probably, I really love doing all denim, and I do it all one shade. So I typically wear like light denim pants with like a chambray shirt and then a jean jacket. That's one of my fave looks.
Send us your fashion tips and personal style tastes to kyotnews@coyote.usd.edu. For Coyote Blog, I'm Daniel Keller.
Coyote News' Crystal Schoenbauer is live in the muck to speak with Cal Peterson about a new program that gives students a new mode of transportation. Crystal?
Thanks, Sophie. USD is trying to go green by starting a bike loan program. I'm here with Cal Peterson, who is the mastermind behind this program. Thank you for being here tonight, Cal.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. So tell me, what was your inspiration by coming up with a program like this?
Well, we had a study last spring on the Pope's encyclical on climate change. And part of the program was to decide what we could do to make a lighter footprint in Vermilion and South Dakota. And we came up with 36 things, and biking was one thing, because the co-leader, Dick Hammond, had been going to the university and said, I can never find a parking spot. We need a bike program to stop trying to find a place to park. It's easier to park a bike than a car.
How many bikes are you guys planning on coming up with, and where do you plan on getting these bikes from?
Well, we're hoping maybe with an SGA grant that we could match with city funds, and we're hoping to start with 10 bought and maybe 20 contributed. I have 2 in my garage. Other people have said, I'll contribute a bike. And so we would start out with that combination of 30 bikes if we could, and try that as a pilot project and go from there.
I know that there was a survey that went out a few weeks ago. What were the results of that survey?
Well, we sent out, Megan Jarko and Patrick Morrison sent out over 800 survey questions, and we got over 155 back, which we thought was a good response. And the overwhelming response was, we need bikes on campus. Several people had bikes, but they said, one fellow said, I have a bike, but it went down, and I sure could have used a loaner while it was being repaired.
Thank you, Cal. Funding has not yet been approved by SGA, but while hopefully more information develops, we will have information for you here at Coyote News. Live from the muck, I'm Crystal Schoenbauer.
Thanks, Crystal. Next on Coyote News, USD's volleyball team continues their success, and Coyote News' Heath Nimke speaks to the tennis team about their recent success. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News.
USD's Media and Journalism Department can be seen and heard all over campus. Faculty members know that hands-on experience now is the key to success after college. Get professional experience by participating in one of the many practicums offered. Have your voice heard on the radio. Edit a promo for a campus organization. Investigate breaking news stories for a weekly newspaper. Design advertisements for local businesses. Get involved with the Media and Journalism Department at USD and start your future now.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the volleyball team continues its success in the Summit League, and a women's golfer gets an all-time record. I'm Devin Reiners.
And I'm Celeste LaCourciere. Coyote News' Heath Nimke will be live in the muck to tell us about the tennis team's season thus far. But first, Nathan Finster has our headlines. Nathan?
USD kicker Miles Bergner is one of the 3 FCS place kickers recognized by the Fred Mitchell Award for their excellence on the field and for continued community service off the field. It's the 3rd year in a row that Bergner has been recognized by the organization. Tim Tebow hit a home run on the first pitch of his professional baseball career. The homer came in an instructional league game. The former Heisman Trophy winner and NFL quarterback is currently in the New York Mets organization. And those are your headlines.
Thank you, Nathan. USD senior golfer Brenna Lervik shot a program record 4 under par in the final round during the Nebraska Chipping Club Invitational earlier this week. She moved up 14 spots to finish in a tie for 8th place. She made 6 birdies, including 3 in the last 4 holes of their record-setting round. Lervik has finished in the top 10 of every tournament this fall, and this is the 19th top 10 of her career. As a team, the Coyotes finished in a tie for 7th. They compete next week in Denver's Ron Moore Intercollegiate. USD senior golfer Cody Seal finished at 3 over par and tied for 6th at the SIUE Derek Doling Intercollegiate held this week. Seal's best round was a 1 under par in the 2nd round, where he sunk 8 birdie putts. Seal has now finished in the top 10 in 2 of 3 tournaments this year. Freshman Scott Fudenberg started the final round in 2nd place, but shot a 10 over par to finish in a tie for 12th. The Coyotes will continue their season next week at the UMKC Bill Ross Intercollegiate in Overland Park, Kansas.
The Coyotes volleyball team's off to a strong start in Summit League play and have been nearly unbeatable so far this season. They've recorded 8 sweeps en route to a 13-2 overall record and a 2-0 conference record. USD defeated Summit League foe Oral Roberts in straight sets Sunday afternoon at the Sanford Coyote Sports Complex. The Golden Eagles proved to be a tough test in the first set. After the Coyotes jumped out to an 18-13 lead, Oral Roberts came back with a 9-5 run, but the Coyotes would hang on to win the set 25-23. The rest of the match was all USD. Using a pair of 7-1 runs, the Yotes took each of the next 2 sets 25-16. Audrey Rieg and Rachel Schmidt led the Coyotes' offensive attack with 14 and 13 kills respectively. Junior setter Brittany Jessen recorded over 30 assists in her 13th match this season. She also tallied 9 digs and 5 kills. USD continues Summit League play Friday when North Dakota State comes to Vermillion. The football team will open up Missouri Valley Football Conference play Saturday when the Coyotes traveled to Youngstown, Ohio to take on the 15th ranked Youngstown State Penguins. The Coyotes are coming off a bye week, and Youngstown State convincingly defeated Robert Morris on Saturday. The Coyotes and Penguins are evenly matched offensively, each averaging over 30 points per game. But Youngstown stands out on defense. They've only given up 18 points a game, compared to 48 points given up per game by USD. The Yotes are looking for their first 1-0 start in Valley play. Quarterback Chris Strevler is the nation's leader in points responsible for, with 26 per game. The Coyotes have a tough conference schedule ahead of them. 7 of their 8 opponents are currently ranked in the top 25. The Coyotes enter the game with a 1-2 overall record. Youngstown State is currently 2-1. In addition to the football team, the women's soccer team begins Summit League play this weekend with a game at IUPUI on Friday and Western Illinois on Sunday. And the cross-country team will continue their season in Iowa City at the NCAA Region Preview on Saturday.
This week, Heath Nimke is live in the muck with a member and coach of the USD tennis team to talk about the season so far. Heath?
The tennis team is off to a great start so far this season, including a first-place finisher. I'm here with the first-place finisher and head coach Barnett. Thanks for joining us today. Hannah, let's start with you. You had a great start to the season so far, including a win just this past weekend. How did you get the win and keep on the motivation to get the win in straight sets?
Well, first started off that I had a very short fall last year, so I wanted to make sure that I can definitely show my potential, especially for the spring. And I just went for it. I just said like point for point, and then the end worked out quite well for me.
How do you hope to keep continuing to win throughout the season?
I think I just want to improve my game, put more balls in, become more consistent, and I think that's a good way to start.
Perfect. Coach, now let's move to you. It's not just Hannah who's been great so far this season, the whole entire team has. How have you gotten them ready so far this season?
It's been preparation and practice. I mean, we've looked really good. I mean, we've been hitting for a month or so. I mean, the new girls have meshed in well with the returners. I mean, practices have been very intense. I mean, we're kind of seeing, we're a very deep team compared to other teams. I mean, so half the time if we're battling each other hard in practice, it's going to be a little bit harder maybe to some matches. And we've been able to translate that over to a very, very hot start so far.
Perfect. And you guys have been so close these past couple of years in the Summit League. How do you guys look to finally capture that title that's been eluding you?
It's there. We knew last year we had the team that can beat Denver, and I know we're right there this year. I mean, it's about, last year was finding that belief and the girls having a close match with them to see that we can do it, and this year it's going to be believing the whole way. And we've shown, we can beat anyone out there that we're playing against. We carry that through to when we play Denver this year. There's no doubt in my mind we can get them.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys both. The tennis team is on the road this weekend at Creighton in the the Creighton Invitational. Live in the muck, I'm Heath Nimke.
Thanks, Heath. After the break, with D-Days less than a week away, we asked students what they planned for the homecoming celebration. Their answers are next.
This is Coyote News.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
Your fire tag. 1926.
This is Coyote News.
On this week's Out and About, we asked students what they are planning for D-Days. Here are their answers.
What are your plans for D-Days?
Are you kidding me? I can't say that on TV, can I?
Get drunk. That's about it.
Just to celebrate and have a good time and love the campus, you know?
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble, huh?
I think my plans for D-Days week will be to hang out with friends and participate in all the D-Days activities.
I'm just going to watch the game, sit in my room, play 2K.
Meet some new people or something.
Got to be on my P's and Q's, that's it.
What are your plans for D-Days week?
Nap and see the hooligans do their things.
Oh, man. Whew, you know, I plan on studying a lot, you know, education first.
Get messed up at tailgate, probably watch the whole game, take a quick nap.
For D-Days, I will probably participate in some of the festivities, but also go to all my classes and study a lot.
Party all day, party all night. Hopefully don't fail a class or two.
Possibly hang out with some friends. I heard Vermilion gets pretty cool on D-Days. Don't know yet.
I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be lit.
Pick up your copy of the Volant today to read about the current gender and diversity ratio at USD and the new multicultural studies major that's now being offered.
And that does it for Coyote News this week. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
And stay tuned after the newscast. It's new and a loud episode of Roommates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.